That was bad. I'm sorry for that. I just hurt your ears. Okay, what are we going to talk about today? Okay, according to my script, today we are talking about how to choose the correct vocal teacher. It's going to be excruciatingly painful experience for you if you pick the wrong one, obviously. Look, in all honesty, I'm not saying that all vocal teachers are bad or some vocal teachers are bad. Everyone has the same skill set and everyone has the same sets of knowledge that they use to build up singers. But the truth is, having the correct vocal teacher is going to help you speed up your progress in singing. And we all know, you and I, we know that singing takes a really long time. The question is, how do you pick the right vocal teacher for you? Watch until the end because this is going to help you in your search for the right vocal teacher. Let's talk about point number 1, background. The vocal teacher's background need to match your goal. You don't go to a classical singing teacher expecting to sound like Justin Bieber or Benson Boone or sounding like Axl Rose. That doesn't happen. Different style use different approaches. It's the same fundamentals but different application. Take this for an example. You go to a classical teacher and they ask you to sing in this way. Let's pick You Raise Me Up. You raise me up. Of course, this is suitable, right? But imagine, like, teacher, I want to learn how to sing like Axl Rose. And then your teacher ends up teaching you to sing like this. She got a smile that it seems to me reminds me of childhood. No, that doesn't work, right? Because this song is a rock song. You gotta be singing, she got a smile. Yeah. So imagine that. Imagine that happens to you. You go to a classical teacher and then you're asking how to sing like Axl Rose. You end up being taught on how to sing in that rounded voice as well. It just doesn't work. So you gotta make sure that your teacher actually knows how to do this. He doesn't have to sing the entire song, but at least he have the working knowledge of how to get the sound that you want based on the artist that you like. During your first lesson or your trial lesson, you should have already shown a video of a singer that you wanted to sound like. Of course, you won't be sounding like that artist 100%, but at least you will somewhat sound like that singer that you want. So give your teacher an idea and then give them a heads up so that they can tell you whether they can teach you how to get that voice or not. Moving on to number 2, they don't kill your voice. Now this is very crucial and it's actually a follow-up to point number 1 just now. On your very first lesson, a good coach should already help you identify your vocal problem. They should help you identify your issues and give you the way or the explanation on how to solve those issues. Yeah, they should be doing that and not just throwing random exercise to you without explaining what those exercise actually does to your voice. There should already be a plan for the first few lessons. As you have more lessons with your vocal teacher, they should be pointing out what's good about your vocal. I made sure that my students knows about the strength of their voice, whether the tone sounds good, the control sounds good, those kind of things. Now, some students normally will come in with an already good tone. So my job as a vocal teacher is not to change that tone, your natural tone. For some students, they come in, they don't have any vocal background at all. So that's where we actually will build their vocal tone, their voice properly. But here's the thing, that vocal teacher shouldn't be changing the quality of your voice right away unless that's what you wanted. Now, take this example for a bit.
If you open your mouth like this and you have this very big space inside your mouth at the back of your throat, and then if you bring your larynx lower, you will get this kind of like classical sounding voice.
Of course, this is what you don't want as a pop singer, because bringing down your larynx and creating that massive space at the back will make your tone darker. And as a pop singer, we normally don't do that. That's not really the things that we would want. Also be aware that out there's a lot of approach to singing, and your vocal coach is responsible to show you the right path to your goal and also to make sure that you are not being pushed towards doing something that is not your goal. Now, I agree all of the fundamentals, your breath, your registration, and all those basic knowledge are important, but individuality is also very important. Unless you sing in a choir or something where you actually need a unified voice. Number 3, they solve your problem. Let's get real with this, okay? The vocal coach that you'll be picking should be addressing the specific problems that you're having with your voice. You shouldn't be working on the same thing for 1 year straight unless you never practice your voice. You gotta ensure that you're not just getting some generic advice like, oh, you should push more, or oh, you should support more. What do you need to support exactly? What kind of breath pressure do you need to reach this note? And how should the breath pressure be? That's the question that should be answered. Not just push more, push less, and you wouldn't even understand what's the ratio of pressure that you need. So this is very crucial, okay? They should be able to hear your voice and tell you exactly what's wrong and prescribe the easiest, most suitable exercise that you could do at home to fix your issue. So understand this, your vocal teacher should be able to identify where the specific problems lies in. Is it your larynx? Is it your breath pressure are not coordinated enough with these other parts of your voice? Is it your registration, or is it your fine control? These are all very important, okay? You actually need a teacher with a very sharp ears. Now, number 4. You need to understand that a good teacher could explain things in a very simple way. If a teacher is using a lot of complicated terms and a lot of technical jargons, that is not mastery. That is confusion. And for a beginner, it's very overwhelming to get bombarded with a lot of technical terms. Oftentimes, it doesn't really work. This is what I found out after teaching for so many years. Teaching students from as young as 6 years old until 75 years old. Technical jargon doesn't work in any of this age. It is much more easier to get them to understand what is happening inside and to feel what is happening inside and being able to sing. We don't want a singer who knows every word in the dictionary, in the singing dictionary, but ends up not being able to sing as good as their knowledge, if you get what I mean. So honestly, technical jargon is not for beginners. Now understand this as well. Teacher acts as a funnel. We control the flow of knowledge that's going into your mind, and we need to make sure that the knowledge that enters your mind match your capacity. Now, the next one, your vocal teacher should be supportive. Understand this, every singer will progress differently. There are fast progress and there are slow progress. And this is nature. Everyone will go through their own pacing. A good coach should understand that. They will guide you, they will encourage you, and build you up over time. They make you aware of the things that you are doing right and the things that you are doing wrong without being judgmental. They're not being super particular, and they know when to push you a bit more and to let you relax a bit more. They understand the nuances of progress. And most importantly, they need to understand that you are a human being and not a robot who can just download knowledge and apply it immediately. All of this coordination will take some time to develop, okay? Number 6, a very good vocal teacher is someone who teaches you how to be independent with your practice. They build independence. They don't just tell you what to do in the class itself, but they ask you, what do you feel? How did you do that? You need to be able to describe how you did a specific things just now. And then they also ask you this question. Can you recreate it? Because remember, singing is about repeating and redoing correct habits. We're trying to reinforce correct habits and discarding all bad habits. In my class, for the first few months, I normally will guide my students first. I give them all the working knowledge that they need. Then slowly, I will remove the training wheels. I will stop explaining to them how to do things, not really 100% stop, but maybe with less guidance. And I actually will ask them, oh, that sounded very nice. How did you do it? Could you recreate it again? Then we work on trying to redo it and enforcing those good habits in singing. The reason why I do that in my class is because I don't want my student to rely on me forever. I need my student to be able to understand their own voice, and this is very important. You got to remember that you are not going to be your teacher's student for the rest of your life. You are attending a vocal lesson because eventually you want to be independent as a singer. If you end up unable to do things on your own, then you gotta rethink your strategy again in your vocal class. Of course, as a professional, from time to time you do need some guidance, because the fastest way you can get a feedback is to have a vocal coach. Get it? But that's it. You just need a feedback. That's why even me, sometimes I will go and get feedbacks from my other friends, from my other colleague who also teaches vocal, because I need them to hear my voice as well. So those are very different things, okay? Now, as the key takeaway from all of this, if there's only one thing that you could remember from this video, I want you to take this. A good vocal coach doesn't just tell you what to do. They help you to feel it, remember it, and repeat it on your own. So, at the end of the day, finding a vocal coach is personal. Not every teacher will match your vibe, and you won't be matching every teacher either. Find someone who suits your style, your goals, and your way of learning. Because the best teacher are the ones that works for you. Honestly, it sounds like picking the right clothes for yourself, right? But you know, if it fits, it fits. We have reached to the end of the video. If this has helped you, I hope you can give me a thumbs up. Please join in, subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. I will see you on the next video. I really appreciate your viewership.
Sing for me!